We are live, Marco. Welcome to the Project 90 podcast. My name is Antonio, and I'm here with, as always, my brother, Marco. Marco, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Just finished watching the Norway-England game and didn't disappoint.
Dude, holy Santa Claus shit. It did not disappoint. I got a lot to talk about. Before we get into it, though, I want to let everyone know, go to project90soccer.com, find our socials, our streaming platforms everywhere. Follow, like, subscribe, comment. We want to hear from everybody. Marco, Norway versus England. Okay. This game had everything, right? It had goals, it had disallowed goals, it had VAR moments, big saves, substitutes that made an impact. It had it all, man. Look, quick for me. Up until about the hydration break, the first quarter, let's call it, because that's what we're doing nowadays. We're playing 4 quarters. I thought the game was very quiet. England had the ball, nothing major was going on. But when the hydration break ended, shit got real, right? Tell me what you thought of that first maybe 20 minutes hydration break and then afterwards.
Yeah, I want you to remind me at the end of this. There's two names that I go away from this game and think like, okay, these guys are the MVP. So remind me at the end.
I
But no,
will.
yeah, to your point, up until the hydration break, it was England, 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 right?
Yep.
It just looks like it was going to be one of those games. But as we've mentioned in the past throughout this tournament, I think that hydration breaks are waking a lot of these teams up.
Yeah.
That's the biggest W, in my opinion, for those hydration breaks outside of the commercial stuff that we don't really care about. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
as soon as that hydration break was over, here comes Norway. Here comes that goal, a banger of a goal. That, in my opinion, I think he was trying to cross the ball,
Thank you.
but I got lucky, and it just ended on the backside of the goal. So yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Shelder up. 36 minute, bro. This guy, what was it? I wrote it down right here. It's only his second start this tournament. It's only his 18th appearance for Norway. I believe he's 22 years old. That was a big goal. It was a nice goal. I do think he was trying to cross it. I'm not so sure that he was intending to shoot that, but either way, dude, Pickford got nowhere near it. And yeah, man, that was 1-0. It's kind of a shocker early on, right? For Norway to go up like that. But we were talking about previously, we thought Norway was going to give them a hard time. And as we get into this, it pretty much that's what we saw, right? Norway really brought it to England and gave them quite a hard time. But of course, who shows up for England? Jude Bellingham, right? Another big game, getting 2 goals. Talk to me a little bit about Bellingham, what you saw from him, what you saw from England after Norway scored that goal.
Well, before we get into Bellingham and that goal that he scored right before the first half,
Yep.
Norway could have gone up 2-0.
Yes, I know what you're going to bring up here. Let's hear it.
You know, I don't want to butcher his name, but my guy,
Sorloth.
yeah, he got a little selfish. He tried to put the cape on and be Superman, but man, you had Erling Haaland wide open where you could have
Yep.
just done something with that. And that guy, what does he know how to do? He knows how to score. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a huge missed opportunity there, going up 2-0, because what do we say about Bellingham and Mexico and just in general? He's just a beast, bro. He plays for Real Madrid. He knows how to score. He knows how to make plays happen. And what happens? We go 1-1 to the first half.
Bro, he's a big game player, Bellingham. That guy, you can never sleep on him, just like Haaland, just like all the other big name players. But Bellingham right now is carrying England. And yeah, man, for that goal that Norway scored was the first VAR check that happened. There was a possible foul on Harry Kane. It's the first of many VARs and non-VARs that probably should have happened. But the goal was given. Up to the 47th minute, Bellingham scored. Controversy here. Okay. I don't know if you saw it. I saw it at halftime. I did not notice it during the game. Apparently the ball that was kicked from the Norway goalkeeper hit the cable that was holding the overhead camera on the field, and it came down, fell down to Anderson, who played it into Gordon, who then played it into Bellingham's feet, who Bellingham did great, right? Took on 2 guys and slotted it to the far corner. But, you see something like that. They didn't catch it. VAR didn't see it. Apparently no one saw it. But you can say England got kind of lucky there, I would say, because in any day or in any other game where that's seen or someone sees that, that's getting called back every time. I mean, what did you think?
I didn't really pay too much attention to that, but in games like this,
Yeah.
you got to get a little bit lucky in order to win these games. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna give all the credit to Bellingham because he had two guys that were closing out on him, and he still made it happen to score.
He did, man, but I'm gonna have to push back. You gotta be honest. If that was like, I'm gonna bring it up. If that was Argentina, okay, and a ball like that from the other team hit a cable that was holding an overhead camera and it fell down to, let's say, DePaul and plays it into and Messi scores a goal, the world is going to be losing their mind right now. That's a big call to miss. Like, to me, if you're going to take some of these calls back as far as they have in this World Cup, call them back, even for Egypt, for instance. I mean, to me, that's something that even if you see it after the fact, I don't know how you can just let that go. But nonetheless, they let it go. No one saw it. It's a goal. It was a good goal. Not going to take that away from Bellingham. Tied the game, but I'd be extremely pissed. I'm pretty sure
Look,
Norway's probably pretty pissed about that too. But
oh yeah,
you
dude,
know,
the coach, he was livid
they were losing it,
the
man. They were
entire
losing
the
it.
entire game. But
Mm-hmm.
Anto,
Yeah.
what did I tell you already? I've lost faith in this VAR referee system. Look at that Norway second goal. Anderson
Mm-hmm.
sells the shit out of that.
Yes.
He sells
Yeah.
it, bro. He's already fallen back the moment he's
Mm-hmm.
getting touched.
Yeah.
There's corner kicks are super physical. Refs are always on top of these guys. This
Yep.
ref wasn't, but at the end of the day, you go to VAR, it feels like almost like he doesn't really take his time to check it, just like he did with the PK. He's like
Yeah.
he stands in front of the screen and immediately turns around. He's like, all right, whatever. I already have my mind made. But
Right.
that Anderson foul, I don't know, man. I don't know if he saw it differently, but he sells the shit out of that.
He was selling it, man. And let's take it. That was in the 55th minute, right? It was a corner from Odegaard. A lot of shit going on in there. Uh, and Haaland, Anderson, you could see him read his lips, right? He's saying he's pushing me, he's pushing me. So he's already looking for it. And as soon as hands go on him, maybe yeah, there was a little shove, there's a little contact, but he sold it, right?
Mhm.
So he ends up falling. What happens? The ball scrambles around, they get a goal, they take it away. Still at 1-1. Was that the right call? I guess it's up to interpretation at this point, right? Just like every VAR call seems to be these days. But yeah, nonetheless, it stayed 1-1. And yeah, man, I thought going into the later stages of the game, there were some good subs, right? England brought on Spence on, I believe he was left back, right? And he's been getting a lot of shit this World Cup, especially because of his performance versus Congo. Was not doing too well,
Mhm.
but he came on later in the game. He earned a penalty, which was obviously taken away. Another VAR
Mhm.
call.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, do you feel like he kind of was looking for that PK? Do you think that it was right that they took it away? Like, what did you think of that? Because personally, I think, yeah, he stepped in front of him purposely. I think he was looking for it, so I think that was a good call.
So it could go both ways. I
Mm-hmm.
initially was like, he was stepping into it because he's fighting for the ball,
Yeah,
right? But at the same time, you're inside the box. You're putting your leg in front of the defender, which nowadays a lot of the guys like to fall, right? So I'm siding with the ref on this one. He
yeah,
got out in front of this guy, and then he just he started that contact,
yeah.
and rightfully so. They took the PK away, and Norway gets lucky on this one. But
He
Spence,
did.
man, Spence had a good showing when he came in against Mexico, and Tuchel did the right adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
I was questioning. I was like, why did he take Saka out?
Yeah,
But the first 15 minutes when England was dominating, you're like, all right, it makes sense. Madueke is doing his thing.
yeah,
But ultimately, right at half, he makes those changes. Saka comes back in,
yeah.
and you immediately like, yeah, this guy should have started.
Yeah, Madueke was one of those guys that even, you hear in the commentators on TV, he wasn't doing it today, right? And Tuchel wasted no time, just took care of it, and I think that was the right move. But
Tuchel
Spence,
or
yeah,
Tuchel?
man.
How do you say his name?
Tuchel, I say Tuchel. I don't know. I'm sure if you go to Germany, they say something completely different. I have no idea. I'm gonna say Thomas Tuchel or
Thomas Tuchel.
Tuchel. Tuchel, same thing. People
Touche.
know what we're talking about. Tuchel. But back on Spence real quick. I think it's dope seeing I'm gonna say Tuchel. It's dope seeing Tuchel still have faith in him after, a couple mistakes, maybe a couple shaky performances, really seeing his potential. And obviously he came in today and he proved that. And he gives him a good case for maybe starting this next game now. Obviously Argentina is about to play. We're gonna see who they're gonna end up playing, but yeah, good performance from him. And for Norway, they brought on two players that I thought you see them come in and make the impact they did. You wonder why maybe they didn't start. I'm not too sure why, what the coach had in mind, but Nusa and Bob, right,
Mm.
came in on both wings, two attacking players, very fast, good with the ball. As soon as they came in, it's like their whole attack sort of changed. They had a lot more of a threatening attack. I thought put John Stones, Gahey under a lot of pressure. I thought they handled Haaland well, to be honest. The center backs today from England. Um, yeah, what did you think of Haaland? Let's go to Haaland real quick. Did you think he was
Well,
kind of quiet today or put in a lot of work? I thought he put in a lot of work, just didn't get the service necessarily.
yeah, he put a lot of work, just trying to body these guys a lot, especially on the set pieces. He was just playing a lot of defense. But to your point, when these guys came in the second half and started creating these opportunities, they just still couldn't find Holland, man.
Yeah,
Because man, England was locking them down, and I would have liked more shots outside of the box, right? But then again, maybe just England was taking those shots away and not letting these guys shoot. I
yeah,
could just feel like they were just trying to find these guys, but they just couldn't get Holland. But I
yeah,
would have liked Holland to stick it out and play the entire game. I don't know. Maybe he did look a little tired, but I mean he's just one of those guys they just want to keep in, especially. And I keep saying on these elimination games,
yeah,
arguably your best player outside of Odegaard on the squad to where he could just make anything happen. He just needs one opportunity, which he had a
yeah.
couple close ones in the
He
first half
did.
when
Yeah,
England messed up and he just shy of capitalizing and scoring that goal.
yeah.
But yeah, man, I would have liked him to stick it out. But shout out to him and the whole Norway squad. They had a good tournament.
Yeah, they did, man. And the coach at that point, I think with Holland, they had to score a goal. He's tired, maybe he's feeling some sort of pain or something. I was hearing on TV, maybe he was limping a little bit or something like that. But at the end of the day, man, you need energy up there. You got 15 minutes to save your World Cup. Um, if Holland's not doing it, man, you gotta be the manager, like we've said, like previously with like Roberto Martinez wasn't it's not very good at this, in my opinion. You gotta make those calls. And whether it's your star player or not, you gotta do what you gotta do to try to give your team the best chance to win. And that's what he did, but obviously didn't make a difference. Early in extra time here is the 93rd minute. Bellingham, of course, of all players again. There's a big mistake though from Nyland, the goalkeeper.
Hmm.
He goes
Hmm.
to catch the ball, kind of bobbles it, rebounds it like we saw the other day, and who's there? Bellingham to clean it up, man. So I thought Bellingham was. I'm sure he got man of the match, deservedly, right? What'd you think of his performance this game, though, and overall for England this whole tournament? He's kind of been the guy.
Solid performance for England and Real Madrid star, who didn't have the best of years in Spain,
Yeah,
but he's an elite guy, man. He had a great performance. You can find him up top, playing in the middle, defense at times. Just seems like he's always working, even when he's off of the ball.
yeah,
Either pulling a man onto himself or whatever the case may be. But solid for him. What is that? 5 goals now,
yeah. He's
or
killing it.
or yeah. So and potentially more goals than Argentina or Switzerland, whoever wins that match, they're going to have their hands full with England because, I mean, look who didn't score in back to back games,
Right.
Kane.
Yeah.
So when you got Bellingham scoring and your main striker not scoring, that's kind of scary because when now Bellingham's not scoring the next game, who has opportunity to score and it could be the
Right.
main man, Kane.
Yeah, dude. Bellingham is just absolutely putting the team on his back in attack. Harry Kane today. I mean, he really didn't have any good opportunities, to be honest. He was involved in the link up play and everything, but no real big opportunities from your big number nine. It's not to say he didn't do anything that helped England out today because he did, but Bellingham is that one guy though at the end of the game or when he gets subbed out if he comes off like he did today, you can just tell like he literally empties the tank. Like that guy leaves everything on the field every time. So
These
if there's
guys were in
one thing,
shape.
oh yeah, oh
These guys
yeah,
were in
dude,
shape, and sorry to cut you off, but these guys were in shape. There was all this talk about them playing Mexico and Mexico City, elevation.
yeah,
These guys proved it was no problem. They were in shape, and I was paying attention to the bench with the Norway players when they were getting subbed off. Dude, their jerseys were immediately taken off.
yeah,
They were shirtless. It looked like they were just done, tired.
yeah.
And England, man, England. You mentioned earlier, it came down to energy and who was going to be less tired, and it turned out to be England, man. Those guys are in shape.
Those guys are dogs, man. And they were playing in Miami today. It's hot weather,
Yeah.
humid weather. Yeah, man, props to them, and, shout out to, on Norway, Odegaard. I feel like he's one of the only guys that had, throughout the entire game, just urgency, right, with the ball, moving the ball around, trying to make plays. Nyland, he had that mistake that led to the goal, for Bellingham, but he had some big saves as well. And late on in the game, Spence won the ball. He's on fire. He took off his little jaw thing he's been wearing, right? All of a sudden he turns into like a prime Ronaldo or something. And he just fires one in, gets a save, and then Saka comes in and he
Yep.
gets a double save. So shout out to him, but wasn't enough in the end. Norway, I think they obviously made history. They've never been in the quarterfinal. It's the furthest they've gone, and they were really close, I think, to making the semis, but ultimately England just they were too much today, too much to handle. So props to them, props to Norway. Congrats to England. We're gonna go see Argentina now and see what happens there. But yeah, man, anything else you want to add to this game? What did you have in mind?
Yeah, so those two MVPs I was talking about is definitely Bellingham, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back-to-back games with a brace, just overall killing it. But I'm gonna give the man of the match to Tuchel, right?
Yes.
He just knows what adjustments to make. He got a lot of feedback and criticism for leaving out the big names out of the
Mm-hmm.
squad and bringing Madueke, Spence, and Easy or Eze.
Yeah.
But his 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 reasoning was like, I just don't want the big names. I want guys who are going to be able to play my system and create an impact.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going on, Anto? These guys are coming in and they're creating an impact.
Oh, they
So
are. Yeah.
yeah, so shout out to him, man of the match for me, and he's keeping England in this tournament.
Yeah, man, throwing on Reece James, Dan Burn at the end there he seems to really know his team well, and you can tell that he knows when to change it, how to change it, because every time he makes those subs, man, it's like England's level goes up a little bit. But yeah, man, I'd say that lived up to its hype, right? We thought it was going to be a tough game. We thought Norway was going to bring it. I thought they did. So I'm excited now. We got this last quarterfinal, Argentina versus Switzerland. We gave our predictions last episode. We both think Argentina is going to go through. So it's looking like off our prediction, it's going to be England versus Argentina, but we shall see. And we'll be back with that match recap tomorrow. We're going to watch that game. We'll give our predictions then for the semifinals. And, something to note as well is the rest time is getting a lot shorter between these games.
Hmm.
Instead of like in the group stage, you had, up to a week between
Yep.
games at times. Now it's only like 3 days. So, you got to look at that. We saw France play the day before. They get an extra day of rest for that first semifinal for Spain. So things to just keep in mind, right? But yeah, man, that's it for this episode, guys. Project 90, project90soccer.com. Like, subscribe, share, find our socials, streaming platforms, and we'll see you on the next episode when we break down the semis and this last quarterfinal.
I love y'all.
Peace.